know this is like a LinkedIn success story. Like, I had to record with what's it?
Kitchen towel
roll. One day I had to record with a kitchen towel roll. Now I'm in a studio. This would be the perfect LinkedIn story for all
I took a picture
losers.
just in case, just for us.
Just for your
LinkedIn post.
Thank you. I hate LinkedIn. I actually LinkedIn is a platform of everyone just sucking themselves off.
Yeah, I used to hate LinkedIn too, especially when I was struggling with my career path, because I was very confused about what I want to do. It's very I would avoid LinkedIn. Whenever I'd open the app, that'd be 23 notifications because I never open it. And when I open it, there'd be so many notifications. I used to stay away from LinkedIn.
Yeah, because everyone just sucks themselves up and say, oh, I got a new job, I got this, I got that. Yeah, I guess somehow it does help for the job market. That's the only thing I would really use LinkedIn for, is to get a job. But I would never use LinkedIn to scroll and read things. It's
but you
so
should.
Annoying.
I know that some person, a friend of mine, she got approached by this really big company because she was very active on LinkedIn. She was constantly posting. It's a good way to get attention.
Yeah, attention.
It's like that funny meme. It's like that funny meme. It's like the opposite of Instagram, where you remember I told you that meme?
Yeah, it's the opposite of Instagram, but Instagram is just, I don't know. Instagram is not a bad place, but it's definitely not one of my favorites for sure.
No,
it's all fake. The best social media platform is Be Real. Shout out to Be Real. That's the go-to, man. Get 2 minutes a day to post a picture, and you can post a picture of yourself and of the thing in front of you. And now slowly it's gaining more and more people, but I love Be Real. It's actually so funny.
Me too, I love Be Real as well.
Yeah, and
but my Be Real is broken because I post a story, right, and then I want to see other people's stories, and then I see it, and then 20 minutes later it's you need to post a Be Real. I'm I just did. That happens all the time. Yeah, they just want more of my content. I'm just too good. They want 2 Be Reals. They just want 2 of my stories a day.
But yeah, no, it's good that anyways that you're back. Thank you for coming back, girlfriend. Anonymous girlfriend is back on the pod. Your friends are gonna rinse you again last time. You can say hello to your friends if you want to.
No.
They're probably listening again.
No, go away.
Anyways, last time I think we really enjoyed talking about crime things, and I really do enjoy talking about crime as well.
We do that often.
Yeah, and we really watch way too many serial killer things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just thinking about talking about that with you.
Can you just quickly tell everyone how you got the idea to talk about crime today and how messed up your brain is sometimes?
I didn't think you would out me like that.
No, so I was just watching this video on Facebook, this Facebook video, and it was about this really sad story about this wife whose husband burned her to death, and I was oh, that's so sad, and I was I can't believe it and stuff like that. He's oh my god, that gives me inspiration to film a podcast.
I didn't say that.
You said
I didn't say inspiration. I said that gave me idea. That didn't inspire me. That's definitely the wrong word. I didn't say inspire. But yeah, no, it is quite an interesting thing, and I do spend a lot of my time that I have Netflix, crime documentaries, and just general crime documentaries, seeing what happened. For instance, one of my favorites is the Michael Jackson conspiracy, to see if he's a pedophile or not, and against all those allegations. The Jeffrey Epstein one was also very good. Their investigation on all that. So yeah, those things, it really does intrigue me. And
I couldn't finish the Jeffrey Epstein one. I found it too boring.
Really?
Yeah.
It gets so juicy at the end.
I don't like it unless there's murder. I know that's very bad, but I find other things boring.
Yeah, there's no murder in the Jeffrey Epstein one. There's just complete abuse and full on trauma for the rest of these people's lives. And also the fact that I find it very interesting that his wife was involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, that she helped him get these girls, which is pretty nuts, fam.
But there was something similar like that in Hong Kong as well. I remember I sent you a story of this Filipino domestic worker.
Oh yeah, the one that got raped.
Yeah, she got raped, and the wife she got raped by this man, and the wife was in it. The wife was oh, he wants you, now go in and I'll pay you $150. So just for context, $150 is nothing. It can get you one meal.
That's not even a meal.
Meals.
Yeah, well,
It's
just
not
about.
even a meal.
It
Chill
could
out.
it could barely pay. It couldn't even pay for the meal we had today, and
Yeah.
that wasn't like a bougie meal.
Yeah.
Like trust, it was like a fast food kind of place that we went to.
Yeah, so it was this nanny who was living with this local couple, and she slept in the room of their daughter, like with the 8-year-old child, and apparently the rule was to never lock the door, which makes sense. Like if your child is in a room, you wouldn't want the door locked. And then apparently she had like such weird encounters with them, where they were like putting, like, you know, they just like approach her and like be like, hey, come to the room, because they had another baby who was 1, and like when she goes to the room, they're naked in bed, and then she'd just be like, what, like, that's weird, and then stuff like that. And apparently like they forced her to do stuff, and then apparently like they forced her to take pills after that and stuff like that.
Pills.
She apparently, like, it was really bad, and like she had no way out, because basically if you come to Hong Kong on your like,
On your ones.
no, not your one. What's ones?
UK slang doesn't matter.
What? No, but
On
then
your own, basically.
I mean, she was alone and she had to send money back home, and she was just trapped. It was a very awful situation, and then she collected a lot of evidence against them, and then
Yeah, it went to court, right?
they went to
And then it
court.
got settled there. Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to ask you a question first. Have you ever had a close to... This isn't really like a gruesome like crime experience, but have you ever had like a close death experience?
I don't think so, not really. But I've been with my mom, and like, I guess I was robbed once, but I don't think they'd kill me. But not really. I've been in like car accidents.
Oh, you did tell me.
Like I was in a car accident once, and usually when I was like young, my mom would make me sit in the back seat because it's safer for some reason.
It is.
And then on that day, I sat in the front because there was something on the back, like she put some like flowers or something on the back seat, so I sat in front. There was a car that came and hit us like from the back, because like she braked fast.
Yeah.
And then the car, it was a really bad accident, and like when I turned around, the other car was like behind my head. So if I was in the back seat, I would have died, or like got really bad injury. But I still injured my neck and my spine a bit.
Did you have your seatbelt on?
I think so.
Or
I don't remember.
shout
I
out
was
your
very
mum.
young, and my mom's very like cautious, so I'm pretty sure I had like
True.
extra seatbelts on as well.
I personally don't think I've had one. But yeah, yours sounds a little more intense than mine for sure. I think
Yeah.
your mom has had the wildest one
My
that I've
mom
heard.
has so many close to death experiences. She was in a.
She's a trooper, man. Jesus.
She is, but my house was robbed once when I was like 10 or 12, and she was awake. So she told me that she thought she was going to die, because you know, if you're, I mean, I don't think they'd kill her, but you never know, right? Like,
Yeah, you never know facts. Yeah.
and they probably come armed as well, so you never know. And that was one. And the most dramatic one was when Sri Lanka was going through the
Well,
civil
chill,
war.
dramatic. That was just crazy.
Yeah,
like-
it's crazy. She was very like upset. Like she was very scared after that.
Yeah, well, the Sri Lankan war, she was in a shopping mall, right? And she was
Yeah,
in a
she was-
store. And then afterwards, they basically, she was outside the store.
No. She was like inside the store, and you know the parcel counter. So basically, if you don't want to carry loads of bags inside the store, you can leave it at a special counter and you get a token.
Yeah.
And then someone left a bomb there, like a remote control bomb.
Yeah.
And then the parcel counter was just outside the door, and she was about to leave. She paid, like, and she was about to leave, and then the bomb exploded, and like this concrete thing hit her head, and yeah, it was very close to death. I mean, it took a long time for her to recover from that, like mentally. Like even now, like when we talk, when it comes up, it's very triggering.
Mad respect that she even still.
But that's not like
going from all that.
like
car accidents, all that.
yeah.
I think that also has to do, like, of course, like with the country, like a bomb and stuff. Like,
Very much.
yeah, like just safe driving.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
From what I hear and what you tell me, I don't believe Sri Lanka's really like the most safest driving.
It is a very
Yeah.
nice country.
I didn't say it wasn't. I definitely believe that.
Every
but-
country has like reckless driving, but it's a bit mad there.
Yeah, but I think, like, I mean, I remember when I was in Thailand, because the people drive so recklessly there, and I remember we looked up some statistics, and like in Switzerland, I think there's like, compared to Thailand, there's like almost over 100 more accidents in Thailand than there is in Switzerland. Of course, there's
Makes
more
sense.
people living
More,
there and all
yeah.
that stuff, but just generally, like, their roads are just crazy. Like the way people drive there and everything, security-wise, it's off the fucking juice. Mental.
I don't know if it's similar to Thailand. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either. I haven't been. But, anyways, you were telling me about that gruesome crime earlier. And, last time we were speaking about the death sentence. If you haven't listened, go and listen to episode 9, I think. Or was it episode 10? No, episode 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the special episode 10. So, do you want to retract your I'm giving you the opportunity here to retract your statement on the death sentence, or are you going to stick to your guns?
Why are you bringing this up?
I don't know, because I thought last time it was like a bit like maybe you might want to elaborate on your death sentence, because I think it was pretty when I was editing the episode, I thought, that's quite a harsh statement there, and I remember even asking you, do you want me to take it out? And you were like, no. So I just want to ask you, do you want to add anything to it?
I'm a woman of my word. Okay, I stand by what I say, but I didn't mean for it to come out as harsh as it did. I want people to be
rehabilitated. A lot of stuttering there.
I believe in rehabilitation, but in some cases it's just too far. Like this case I read literally 5 minutes ago, where this man set his wife on fire because she found out about his affair with some other girl. He set her on fire, he put petrol on her and set her on fire, and then he threw the child at her because the child was crying and saying don't do it. He threw his own child on his burning wife. That's weird. How, I don't know, how do you live with that?
That is messed up on another level. But I also wanted to look up some gruesome crimes today, basically, and just talk to them about you, and then also later on go through a few good would you rathers that I've found, and just discuss that with you in general. So the first one that I came across, because I was gonna say you do one from Sri Lanka, but you basically already said that, and actually also you already mentioned one from Hong Kong. Well, the one from Hong Kong wasn't crazy gruesome, but it was quite messed up. So we'll start with the ones in the UK. So the gruesome crimes in the UK, we'll start with that. And basically there I found this show. So basically, there's a show that called Crimes That Shook Britain.
Okay, we have something new to binge.
I was reading it here and I was like, God damn, they've got 8 series of
seasons, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, 8 seasons of Crimes That Shook Britain, and basically they're all things that are really interesting.
Okay, but just have you watched Forensic Files?
No.
So good. It's about how you catch the murderer because of science. So there was this woman who was found dead in her apartment, and then everyone thought it was sexual assault because she was naked and her clothes were wrapped around her neck and stuff, and it was so suspicious. And they called her husband, and he was on a boat trip, far away, a 2-day boat trip. So she was killed on Saturday, according to the police records, and he left home on Friday. Okay? And then after that, they were trying to go around, and they just couldn't find any suspects, things like that. And then they were just so confused, but then they were still suspicious about the husband because they had a really messed up relationship or something, but then there was nothing that pinned him to the crime scene because he was on a boat trip, right? And then they just started digging deeper, and they were retracing his steps, and they were whatever, they were meeting everyone that he they were interviewing people he met in the past and stuff like that. And then this lady, she's oh yeah, I know him, he's a great guy, he even gave me a movie once, he gave me a movie suggestion, and this guy, how do you say it?
Detective.
Yeah, detective. I was gonna say director.
The director.
The detective was oh, what's the name of the movie? Just to make conversation. And then he said the name of the movie, and then the detective had watched the movie in the past, and then he was oh, that's so strange. And then he was trying to figure things out. And also when he was on the boat trip, in front of all his friends, he had called home on Saturday, just to show that this wife was alive on Saturday. He had called home, and then he had called them in front of all his friends and been whatever. But turns out it was those old school landlines, those landline telephones, and for some reason all the phones were connected to each other, and his friend's daughter had picked up the phone, and apparently this man was talking to nobody. Like, he was saying, oh, hello, dear, how are you, whatever. And there was no response from the other side. But he pretended like there was a response. Like, oh, that's great. I'm so glad you're, like, fine. Have you had dinner? And then no response. And then again, he's like, oh, that's good. I'll call you later. Bye. And this daughter had been like, that's so weird. Why is this man, like, on the phone speaking to himself? Because she can hear it. Because she picked it the other eyeliner. And all of these things made sense. And guess what he did? So he killed her on Friday. And then he turned the AC up on like full blast. So when you turn the AC up full blast, the body doesn't like decompose as fast. Okay. So it like really like slows down the like, and it like confuses people about the time of death. And then like he like strangled her. And also another clue was when he was on his boat trip, he did not take his shirt off, which like is like that, not that suspicious, but he was wearing like full length shirt. And then they examined him and he had scratches all over his body. And guess where the movie comes in? This same thing happened in the movie. So he got all these ideas from the movie. And the way that this detective pinned it together, because he watched the movie as well. And this was the plot of the movie that this guy did. Because from the movie he found out that bodies decompose slowly when there's high AC on. And like to take the call, everything was from the movie. It's like crazy.
What the hell?
Yeah, but we should watch that because they find like murderers through like fingerprints, and it's very interesting. It's really, really interesting. Forensic Files.
Forensic Files, everyone. Jesus Christ, that's
so
mental.
Crazy.
Off the juice. That's what it is.
But I used to watch that as a child, and then I'd be so scared. And I'd like sleep in my mom's room.
As a child, you're traumatized from that. But yeah, no, I was looking at here, and there's eight seasons, and basically from these 8 seasons, I picked one each. The first one is that I picked from season 1 is The Murder of Sarah Payne. I think it's mainly like when it's like just like young kids or just kids, it just hits harder when there's like children that are killed. And it's this murder of Sarah Payne. In July 2000, an 8-year-old girl goes missing while playing with her siblings near her grandfather's seaside home in West Sussex. A police manhunt is launched and media appeals for her safe return are made, but 16 days later a body is found in another part of the country and is soon identified as that of Sarah. The discovery of Sarah's body sees a murder inquiry launched, while Sarah's family cooperate with the national media, mostly the News of the World, for public access to the sex offenders register, as well as more severe sentences for anyone found guilty of sexual offences against children. Roy Whiting, a local man with a previous conviction for child abduction and indecent assault, is found guilty of the murder in December 2001 and sentenced to life imprisonment with a recommendation that he should never be released. Damn. Why is a local man with previous conviction and child abduction like nearby?
But they have to be on the sex offenders registry, I think.
Yeah, but come on.
But have you heard of Alyssa Bustamante?
You know way too much.
I know.
Yeah, go ahead. this episode is just gonna be you telling stories of these crazy things. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Alyssa,
so
what?
it's Alyssa Bustamante. Again, I don't remember her age, but she was young. She was in her teens. I think 16, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But basically, she had like she was very antisocial. She was going through like a goth phase, and like she would wear like very heavy makeup and stuff. Mm-hmm. And she killed her sister's friend for fun. And she wrote in her diary, you know how she was caught? Because she wrote in her diary, she was like, oh my god, you can look it up. She was like, oh my god, I killed someone, and like once you get over the initial, oh my god, I'm doing this, it's actually quite fun and stuff like that. She wrote it in her diary, and then like she erased it, and she thought she'd get away with it. And then the police found her diary. Mm-hmm. And it was so bad, like, because she dug the graves like beforehand as well. And then there were 2 graves, so she had 3 younger siblings, so and there were 3 graves, so police suspected that she planned to kill her 3, like
her own 3 siblings.
Yeah, for fun.
Mental.
But then she had a very bad childhood, like I think both her parents abandoned her and she was living with her grandparents. But she was like, it was very intense, like she killed them for fun, and like apparently it was like really like bad, like she stabbed them. And it's really sad because this little girl trusted her because she's her friend's sister, and like she went to the forest with her, and then she just like completely killed her, and it was so bad.
Yeah, moving on to more child murders. Basically, the one in the season 2 is called the Dunblane Massacre. Now, I've never heard of this, but this one's quite nuts. But basically, it was a fatal shooting of 16 children and their teacher at a primary school in Dunblane, Scotland, by a local man, Thomas Hamilton, who then shot himself dead. The massacre contributed to stiffer gun laws as well as tighter security in schools. That's wild. Like, 16 kids. I never understand, like, the kids. When kids die, it's just hits different because it's just like, man.
That's what I said. That's what I said in the early episode. Like, when it's a child murder, I think it's okay to be very harsh on them.
Yeah, because these 16 kids had their whole life ahead of them, and yeah, nah, that's not on.
Have you seen the case of Madeleine McCann?
Yeah, Madeleine McCann's. The one on Netflix. Have you seen the one on Netflix?
It's boring.
So boring. So
they could have done. I would have done such a better job if I had if I was able to interview all those people. But it was so boring.
Netflix.
I would love it. Like, I would leave my current job any day if Netflix wants to film a documentary.
Same. Anything Netflix wants to do with me, I'm there. Cause
not anything, but.
Okay, what would you not do? What would you not do for Netflix?
I don't care about other stuff.
If Netflix invited you on a reality show, would you go?
No, I'm too shy for that.
Nah, you do it.
Like, what kind of reality show?
If they offer you the bag, trust you're there.
I'd be such a boring reality person. I just do nothing.
No.
I just do nothing.
That's what you always claim. Oh, I do nothing. I'm boring. But then like behind closed doors, I think you would try and you'd like some guy, then you try and play one, and then.
No, I don't. Ew! I don't play one for.
I think you would.
Guys.
I think you would. For if the money's right, if the bag is right, trust.
You think I'm that money-minded where I'd sell my soul?
No, you wouldn't be selling your soul. But if you'd be making the right bag, and then afterwards you can make proper career moves, just by using the fame you get. From
I don't want to be on screen. I'd be I'm a very off-screen kind of person. I wouldn't want to be one of the reality stars, but I'd want to. You want to be
the production person.
Yeah, I'd be production. I love reality shows. I'd produce one for sure.
I know you could be the person who tries to initiate.
Yeah, I'd incite the drama. I'd be like, you know what happened?
Did you hear what she said?
What do you think? And then take a camera and record what she thinks.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that. And then another one from the UK, and I'm going to skip a few because I think these will go on forever. I think another crazy one which also happened only a few weeks ago, which I think is pretty mental, is
weeks?
No, not weeks, years. 5 years ago was the Manchester Arena bombing.
Oh yeah.
I think that's just one that is so mental that so many people died there, and that must have shook. It was so I'll just quickly say what happened. It was a concert at the Manchester Arena by the American artist Ariana Grande. When it comes to a close, an Islamic terrorist detonated a shrapnel-laden homemade bomb, which killed 23 people, including himself, and injured 1,017 others.
That's crazy.
Now, the fact that was only 5 years ago is pretty mental, that she's still doing shows. Yeah,
no, it has nothing to do with her.
No,
I'm sure she's as traumatized as everyone else.
That's what I'm saying. But the other people, they can take their time, they can go to therapy and stuff.
Yeah.
She's still out there performing.
She's probably going to therapy on the side.
I think from all the artists, pop artists, I really don't like him, especially Ariana Grande.
You don't like Ariana Grande?
No, I hate her music.
What?
But I have
music.
Mad respect for her, crazy respect. Her almost once husband Mac Miller boyfriend
I feel really bad for her.
he died, and then generally she had that whole hatred transition when she went from Nickelodeon to a singer, because she used to be on that show. Victorious, that was a banger though, by the way. And there was also that girl on Victorious, such a langers.
Which one?
I think Kat
is Ariana Grande.
Oh no, not her, the other one, the mean one. Kind of emo. I think the sister. Oh yeah,
that's your type. You like.
Yeah, she was a langers.
Your type is so
I would
weird.
watch that show.
Always like the ones that no one talks about.
No, if I would watch that show just to see her.
You could have.
No, nothing.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, nothing. I would watch that show just to see her.
What a loser.
I forget her name now, but she was a langers. But anyways, like she got all that hate from like becoming like a pop star and all that, and then she did really well. And yeah, just absolutely mad that she's like so strong and still is able to come back and make shows.
Is. Like you like these emo girls with like tattoos.
Are you an emo girl with tattoos? I don't think so.
No, but like celebrity-wise.
Celebrity-wise, yeah. Well, because they're just a little bit out of it, you know.
You just like people who are a little bit out of it.
Yeah, just like you.
Yeah, wow. I don't know that.
We have a healthy relationship, guys. Trust. But here now that I'm on Wikipedia, I see also there's something that says most evil killers, and I'm gonna go and read the first thing here. Oh, it's also a TV series. Ooh, guys, you're just live with us. You've heard that we have found a new TV series called
next
Evil
weekend we are
Killers.
cancelling all our plans to stay in and watch all this.
Yep, 100%. And it started in 2017, called Britain's Most Evil Killers, and they talk about people. Steve Wright, that's a radio host on BBC.
He killed someone?
BBC Radio 2. No, I don't think so. Well, I hope not. He's a TV presenter.
You know, Steve Wright is such a common name. I'm pretty sure
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Wright.
Steve Wright in the afternoon.
What freak.
Yeah, and us World's Most Evil Killers. Oh, there's 2.
Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
You know what I like?
Next weekend's plans are also cancelled. Sick.
I like that Ted Bundy only comes in season 3, which shows that they have like variety and they don't just talk about the mainstream ones.
Yeah, and we already talked about Ted Bundy last time.
Yeah.
That thing, cuz. Yeah, and then also what I wanted to talk about, this one is also a very, very good, not a very good story. Sorry, I just wanted to mention that, you know, I wanted to talk about gruesome crime in the UK, and I also wanted to talk about it in Switzerland, because I remember Adam saying there's no crime in Switzerland, and I remember...
I refuse to believe that.
No, obviously there is. But I wanted to quickly elaborate on that story because I think it is quite a mad story, and this was pretty mental what happened there. So basically in Switzerland, this guy was called the Beast of Robertsville. Robertsville is like a small little county somewhere in Switzerland, and it was one of the most gruesome criminal cases in Swiss history. The man had entered a home in northern Switzerland and viciously killed a woman, her 2 sons, and a girlfriend of one of the sons. After raping the 13-year-old son, the perpetrator slaughtered each of his victims. He was eventually arrested in May 2016 in a cafe and accused of murder, extortion, kidnapping, hostage-taking, sexual acts on a minor, sexual constraint, arson, and pornography. The accused confessed to the murders, and his fingerprints and DNA were found at the crime scene. He acted alone, did not know his victims, and had a clean criminal record. The trial of the quadruple murderer reignited the debate of lifelong imprisonment in Switzerland, where life doesn't necessarily mean until death.
Now I know why you're so appalled by death sentence, because in Switzerland there's no life sentence either.
And dangerous repeat offenders sometimes walk free. Cases have arisen of dangerous criminals being set free after serving their sentence, only to commit further crimes. According to the law, an accused may only be detained for life if 2 independent experts have declared him to be permanently untreatable by therapists. But in this case, psychiatrists have not delivered such an opinion. So yeah, that really makes your skin crawl when you hear that. That's just absolutely mental. That's the worst crime I think that's probably happened in the past few 100 years. That's very famous in Switzerland, because this one is just mental. He didn't know the people, just went into a house
and killed them,
and just killed them, and just did those acts as mentioned before.
You know how old he is?
I think he's in his 40s as far as the article reads.
So he has no idea who they are, just killed them.
No, he just went in, killed them
for fun.
Not for
No, but there are thrill killers. They kill for fun.
Yeah, no, it's just disgusting, but it does exist, of course.
That's crazy. But I don't know how you can kill I feel like as soon as you kill more than one person, you should get the death sentence, right? Because it's like 1 versus 2.
Eye for an eye.
It's not even eye for an eye, it's an eye for 2 eyes.
Eye for a set. Okay, yeah, no, death sentence. I don't know. I got very mixed opinions still, but yeah, this is messed up. Of course, and there's crazy amount of proof, but the issue is what Swiss prisons, and I guess what a prison is not for you to rot, right? It's supposed to be a rehabilitation center.
Yeah, but why do they deserve rehabilitation when you like have 4 dead people that
Because maybe
died
there's
for
something
no
wrong with
reason?
you.
But then what about the 4 dead people who had their whole lives ahead of them?
Yeah, of course. But there's there's all
And what
those.
about the family who survived and who sees them like very frustratingly, like sees these people live a nice life? Like if someone killed someone in my family and they were like walking free, I'd be very like upset.
Of course, 100%. But there's like all those stories, right, of like these American, Netflix where they like talk about like my like whatever killer, the mind of a killer or something.
Yeah.
And it's like so many of those episodes they interview real like criminals in the US, and these criminals, they're like even like friends with the family because they're like looking for forgiveness of the family that they murdered and all that stuff. So would you be friends?
Time.
Would you be friends with a? But what if they reach out to you and say, "Sorry, I was in a very bad place"?
I'd forgive them. I'd stop hating them, but I don't think I would be able to be friends with them because how do you move?
Not friends.
past
I don't
that
think they
point?
were friends. I think they were just like on common ground. They would like. They would
I think
meet
that's
up.
part of moving on. Like part of moving on is like letting go. So I feel like
Yeah,
you have to let go at some point. You can't live with hatred, but
true.
I don't know.
Yeah, and also because I wanted to quickly mention about the homicides and stuff. I was really interested because in Switzerland, as you were saying earlier, not really much happens there when it comes to crime. I think on average, so I found this World Bank of data, and there it says intentional homicides per 100,000 people, and it's this that says how many people I guess killed per 100,000 people, and it says in Switzerland on average it's one person? One person per 100,000 people. And if you think about it, 1 per 100,000 people in Switzerland has like 8 million people living there.
Okay.
That's actually quite a lot. No, that's 80 people.
But we need to put it in context. Like how many people are killed in like Hong Kong? How many
Exactly.
people are killed
No,
in Thailand?
and we do have that data.
Oh,
we do have
nice.
that data. We did a little bit of research.
Ooh.
So yeah, in Switzerland, it's one person on average for the past 20 years.
Okay.
And we do have data of the most dangerous country per 100,000 people. Venezuela has 50 murders or intentional homicides per year. That's 50, and I don't know how many people live in Venezuela, but if you think about it, per 100,000 people, that's quite a lot. 50.
Sri Lanka has 3. That's not that bad at all.
Well, it's 3 times as many as Switzerland.
Yeah, well.
Still quite a bit, though, if you think about it. 3 per 100,000. How many people live in Sri Lanka? Almost 20 million.
22 million.
22 million, yeah, so that's quite a bit, fam, if you think about it. It's quite a lot. I guess you need to put this into perspective also, like, where these countries are exactly and what goes on. But if you look for Hong Kong, let's even see.
I wonder if the
listed.
murders in Switzerland are like domestic disputes or like most commonly. I wonder like why people kill each other in Switzerland, because I think in Sri Lanka it's mostly like either like fights that go bad or like domestic disputes or like robberies gone wrong, stuff like that.
Yeah, I to be honest, I really wouldn't know. In Hong Kong, it's 0, but that's also because they have no data available.
I don't think it's not because it's no data available. I think it's 0 per 100,000, but if you look at 200,000, there's probably 1.
Yeah, but it says no. There's no data available. It's a country where it doesn't have any research on it, so we don't really know. So in Hong Kong, we don't really know what it is with 8
Hong
million
Kong has
people.
murders. I just saw like a post that said a mom killed her son.
Oh, I didn't read the story, but
she killed her son because she was going through depression and she was pregnant as well, so she wanted to kill him and then commit suicide. Like she was pregnant, so but then like when she was out and ready to jump, people saw her and then called the police, and she survived and her son died.
Disco, yeah. Those things, these are like things where you're like, oh, you're disgusting. You're like, oh, I don't want to talk about it, but then you still go back because you want to know more.
Yeah.
It's like when you're watching something and you know like, oh, I shouldn't, like this is mad, but you still like kind of watch.
Like just like crime documentaries, like at the end of the episode you're like, oh my god, like what is this? But then you still want to hear more.
Yeah, you just like the curiosity is just always there. You're just like, how does this person think? I think that's the main thing that I always want to know is like, what goes through this person's mind? Like, what were they thinking? What was going on? Like, what was the thought behind this? Why? But yeah, those are loads of conspiracies like that, and that happened like that in that kind of case. And now we have already been going for quite some time here. We're a lot of waffle and a lot of stories about homicides. I hope you guys have enjoyed this so far. If you do, please leave a like if you're on YouTube and follow us and download the episodes. We're really grateful because right now my girlfriend's ego has inflated times 100 because the special episode 10 was the most downloaded episode. So yeah, thank you very much for listening in, everyone. But anyways, we're gonna get into some crime related or just basically gruesome would you rather questions. Not really crime related, more like gruesome. Well, I guess some are a crime, but they're also gruesome at the same time. So I have the first question for you. Would you rather it sounds so weird, but would you rather hump a corpse once or sweat all the time? And I mean all the time you're sweating, and you're sweating a lot.
Why would you
Or you hump a corpse, a dead body once.
No.
So you'd sweat all the time.
That's so weird if you want to hump a corpse. But then people have
you don't have to be naked.
It's a fetish,
Oh yeah, that's necrophilia,
yeah.
right? Yeah, necrophilia, having sex with dead people.
Damn.
But what would you do?
No.
You'd sweat all the time.
Yeah.
So all the time, sweating out of every possible pore in your body.
That's
Sweating
so
out of
weird.
your ears.
That's basically yeah.
Sweating out of your eyelids.
Yeah. But how much sweat though?
A lot. Drippy sweat.
You on a hot day sweat?
Me walking through the streets of Hong Kong with no shade sweat.
How dead is the corpse? And who is the corpse?
Corpse is 1 day old.
1 day? Oh, no. If it's fresh. Oh, if it's fresh. If it's
the consideration.
No. I go back to sweating all the time. I do not care. I cannot.
So you'd sweat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say sweat.
I think sweat. But yeah, I think I agree with you. I'd also be considered how dead is the body? Who is the body?
If it's me and I died 5 seconds ago, freshly dead. Someone shot me in the head.
Someone shoots you in the head.
Yeah, and then
I was gonna say if we
ago.
accidentally died during oh no, we were religious, yeah. Celibate and that. So if you would die while hugging me,
okay.
and then if you died while hugging me, then I would probably.
But you knew I was. You won't even be
I just
upset.
I would hump you, and then afterwards, and then I'd be upset. But
so you won't even call the police. You just
I would first hump you for a few seconds.
Ew.
Oh no!
Ew, that's so weird.
Only if it's you though. So I would only hump a dead corpse if the corpse was you.
Ew.
But otherwise, I would definitely choose sweating all the time.
Thanks. I know my dead body is gonna be taken care of. Well, thanks for that.
You're welcome. Obviously, the next one. Would you rather never be able to speak or have to speak using your butt cheeks?
How do you
I found that a
speak?
bit funny. That's
how do you speak with your butt cheeks?
So every time you want to say something, you have to bend over and open your cheeks so that they're able to
yeah,
speak.
I'd speak with my butt cheeks, so I wouldn't speak to the rest of the world, but to my family or one person, I'd say what I want to say, so that I'm not unable to communicate.
So you would. Okay, so
I
you
still
would
have
use
the
your butt
option,
cheeks.
yeah.
So you'd still have the option. What if you're somewhere and you really need to communicate with that person, and then you just whack out your ass?
I just write it.
True. Yeah, true. I guess you could just write it. But yeah.
I'd probably never even use my butt cheeks to communicate. I just like having the option.
Having the option. I'd use my butt cheeks. That'd be, a funny party trick, cause.
Oh, are you gonna no?
Yeah. If they're yo, wagwan, and then afterwards you dab them up, and then afterwards you just turn around, and then you bend
and
over.
And then get arrested.
And
and
yo, wagwan. But nobody can see your ass. This is your butt cheeks. So you just have to. No one can see into your
I thought you'd remove your pants.
No.
Okay.
Well, that's the way I understood it. That's the way I'm phrasing this, anyways.
Yeah.
They can't see it, but it'd still be funny. Okay, next one. So, would you rather know how you're going to die or how your parents are going to die?
Am I able to stop either?
Nope. It's gonna happen, and that's what I think is. This is a really, really good question. Out of all these, I think this is the best one because it's
oh my god. But if I can't even stop it,
you can't. You're gonna die that way. I think I know what I would pick.
What would you
I'll
pick?
let you go first.
I don't know. I'm thinking.
Okay, I'll let you think while I answer. So basically, I would definitely choose my parents.
Why?
No way would I want to know how I die, because then I would try and do everything to avoid it, but in the end I'd still die like that.
But then wouldn't you do that for your parents as well? I feel like.
Well, not to be mean, but like
Wow.
my parents.
Your mom watches
Oh,
this
my
stuff.
mom listens. Mom, sorry. No, I choose myself, Mom. Sorry. Oh yeah, my mom watches. No, Mom. No disrespect to you, but like I think I would want to know how they die, because it's just like I think it just makes way more sense, because for me to know how I die, it's way more like crazy. But like your parents, you expect them to die anyways earlier than you, right?
I think I would choose the same, but because if I know how I'm gonna die, and like say I die in like a train crash or something, I mean not a train crash, like a car crash or something, and then if I like know, okay, this is the car crash that I'm going to be, like I feel like I would like be very like freaked out. But if I know how my parents are gonna die, I'd never tell them, because then that would just scare them so much, right?
Yeah.
And if there's any way I can stop it, like for example, if they die from some disease that's preventable, I do everything in my power to like stop them like from doing things.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I also just like I'd rather know how my parents, because if it were me, then like I also don't think you can live after that. Like, how do you live knowing when you're gonna die? That's mental. So, but sorry, Mom, if you're listening. Would you rather have an invisible friend who comes with you everywhere, or have no friends at all?
I had an invisible friend when I was young.
Oh, God. That was the podcast, guys. I'm leaving my girlfriend.
No, but I knew that they weren't real. Because
what was his name? What was their name?
I never named them, but it was a girl. I don't remember. I was very young, so I'm the only child in my family. And
do you think it was a ghost?
No, it was. I knew they didn't exist, but I would just like pretend that there was someone, because I was very young.
That's sad. Not even gonna lie.
I'm the only child in my family, and my cousins are a lot older, and they thought I was the lamest thing on the planet, so they didn't want to play with me. And my mom would play with me like once a week for like an hour, and then she'd just not want to play with me anymore, so I didn't have anyone to play. Shut up. And my dad would play with me like 1 minute per year probably.
Your dad is the goat though, so.
And then I didn't have anyone to play with, and like how do you play by yourself? So you have to imagine people, and then like I used to imagine people and play with them.
I don't think I ever had an invisible friend, so
but how do you play? How did you play? Oh, you had brothers.
Yeah. I would rather have an invisible friend.
Wait, what is an invisible friend?
Isn't an invisible
though?
friend just like a mental illness? Like when you're seeing things.
No, but I knew it wasn't real.
Yeah, I know, but so like.
Invisible friend, like a actual friend who's invisible.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, that's creepy. No, because I can't see them either. What if they're like watching everything?
No. You can't see them. Like an invisible friend. I think that means like you have a friend who is invisible to others.
Oh, that's too
weird.
weird. No, I don't want to do that.
No, if he's invisible to me, that's okay. That'd be kind of sick. Going bank heists and shit. Yeah, no, I'm down. I'm down to having a person who's invisible. If he's visible to me, but to no one else.
What if you can never get rid of him, and that's how horror movies are made.
Well, he's my only friend.
But what if you can never get rid of him?
What do you mean I can never get rid of him?
Like,
he's not following me around, right? He's just my friend. Yeah. Doesn't mean I have to link up every day with him.
Yeah, I think I'd have no friends at all. Like I don't really care. My life
that's
as an
really
only
the case
child.
now,
Shut up. My life as an only child like made me very okay with being by myself. Like I'm very happy by myself sometimes.
All right, and to the final would you rather. The final would you rather question is: would you rather have to murder one of your siblings? And for you, it's would you rather have to... Oh shit, this doesn't even work for you.
I'd murder all of my siblings who don't exist. I don't even want to hear.
Would you rather murder your invisible friend?
Yeah, I would.
Would you rather murder one of your siblings or murder one of your parents?
I'd murder my friend.
Mom, please turn off the podcast now. Thank you for listening. Bye.
What is wrong with you?
Because I'd rather murder one of my parents. If
I had siblings, I'd murder them for sure. Because at least like when we have a fight, they have a fair chance. Because they're like young and fit. My parents are like, I don't know.
My siblings still have a life full ahead of them.
But you can't murder the person who gave you life.
I think my parents would rather give their lives up than having my siblings die. So sorry,
So,
Mom,
yeah.
if you're watching.
You've been so rude to your
Yeah,
parents.
for real.
all episode.
My parents got the smoke this episode. Jeez.
If it was murder my cousins or my parents, I'd murder my cousins.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my cousins
Yeah.
so much.
Your cousin's got the smoke.
But yeah, I love everyone. But
Cap. Major cap. Okay. Well, anyways, that was the end of this episode today. Thank you very much for everyone tuning in. Keep listening to our podcast. Keep listening into all of this. Hopefully next week Adam is back. But thank you very much, girlfriend, for coming on today. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. Make sure to subscribe, like, do all this stuff that you have to. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. TikTok is going down lately, so go and follow us there. See you guys soon. We'll catch up with you next week, and bye-bye.
bye.